Hello and welcome. I am Victoria Mensch, CEO of Silicon Valley Executive Academy. And today we are diving into what it really means to lead with vision in a time of disruption. We hear all these words flying around: artificial intelligence, hybrid work, rapid innovation, and it's not slowing down. So this talk is meant to give you tools and clarity to lead boldly into that ever-changing future. Thank you for joining me one more time. What to expect is I hope that you will walk away from today's conversation with better understanding of the changes in the leadership landscape, how to stay relevant with self-leadership, and how to protect your well-being while leading those changes. So this session is for leaders, HR professionals, and anyone who is invested in the future of work. Now, let me tell you about myself a little bit. I've been working and living in Silicon Valley for over 25 years. I have experience in marketing and operations. I've been leading teams, working on a variety of fantastic products in Silicon Valley. And I'm a founder of Silicon Valley Executive Academy. So throughout my career, I specialize in technology and innovation and how it impacts the way we work, the way we live, and the way our industries and lives are being shaped. I do have an MBA from UC Berkeley. I have a PhD in psychology. And I'm on a lifelong quest, really, to find harmony between work and a life between happiness and success. So that kind of spills over into this work as well. So what I wanted to talk about today is that the disruption is not going away. So we've been hearing about disruption and disruptive innovation and all the changes and how they're accelerating. We've been hearing about this for a long time. And let me tell you, it's not going away. It's only going to speed up. So that's the disruption itself. It could be technological disruption. It could be environmental disruption. It could be political disruption. It could be your personal disruption, but disruption is there. Today, we're definitely talking about technological disruption. AI is a big factor in that. So it's been stated that 85% of the jobs that will exist in 2030 haven't even been invented yet. So we are kind of experiencing this shift from the degrees and the titles to skill-based hiring is definitely taking over. Teams are becoming more agile. And with artificial intelligence, leadership is really more about direction and ethics more than ever before. So the question is, where are you in this process? Are you just watching? Are you observing, or you're evolving with this process? Are you staying relevant to what's going on there? Because let me tell you that the future really demands a new kind of a leader. So this is how leadership is shifting from an old model to a new model. We're really moving from that control to adaptability, from expertise to collaboration. So today's leaders must become ecosystem enablers, not just decision makers. And we already touched a little bit about the skill base. So it's not about degrees and accolades anymore. It's really about the skills and what it is that you bring to your work and what it is that your employees and your teams are bringing into this work. So it's my position here is that it really starts with the self-leadership, that the leadership Great leadership starts with self-leadership. It is a starting point. So if you are not taking care of yourself, if you're not developing your skills, if you are not developing your resilience, if you're not evolving with the times, with the technologies, with the changes that we talked about, you're really going to lose that competitive edge going forward. So a burnout is a huge topic, right? So when you're in a burnout, you're no good to anyone. When your teams are in burnout, they're no good to anyone. Burnout is a big topic, and it's actually so the changes are real. This is not about your personal development and well-being any longer. They actually the damages are real on the bottom lines and top lines of the companies. So burnout leads to disengagement, which leads to misaligned teams, right? So that's what we are talking about here, is that how can you lead others if you're burnt out? No, you can't. So that's where that self-leadership comes in. Managing your energy, managing your emotions, developing that clarity and intentional action. That's what helps you to stay effective and resilient. So start asking yourself questions like, how ready am I? Start asking questions. What is it that's draining me? What is it that's fueling me? Managing that energy to lead, to go ahead, to sustain the effort of leading the innovation, leading innovative teams. That starts with that self-leadership and with that resilience we're talking about. So here in Silicon Valley Executive Academy, we have a framework. We develop a framework for the leadership called Vital Leadership, and it's pretty straightforward actually. So and it's working very well for the teams and for the leaders. V stands for that value creation, focusing on outcomes, not just hours spent, not where your teams are performing their tasks, where not where you are based and located, but on the outcomes and how you develop the processes and scenarios and the frameworks for yourself and for your teams with that focus on outcomes and the outcomes that you desire in this. I stands for that inner clarity and staying connected to your why. T is for time energy alignment, matching your efforts with your personal energy rhythm. Remember, we talked about the burnout, how you manage your energy. It's not just about performing all the time. It's about being able to be agile. It's about being able to be resilient and developing that emotional intelligence. A is for agile leadership, making decisions with data, with intuition, with humility. And L is leveraging for human connection, which is the key to trust, influence, and collective innovation. So here you have it. Innovation is essential, but it shouldn't come at the cost of well-being. So what we're talking about here is that it's not about hustle anymore. It's really about creating the right environment. So you as a leader, you need to understand that as well, that leading innovation does not come with a burnout. It does not come with that great. You really want to design for flow, not frenzy, not for overload. You want to build the psychological safety into every team so that they can explore and they can be allowed to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. And you really want to bake that well-being into your team's culture as well. That's how sustainable innovation happens. That's how you compete on innovation, and that's how you sustain that effort, and you're always ahead and prepared for the disruption. So to recap, what we were talking about today is, well, first of all, that leadership, the leadership edge for the future is not about having all the answers. It's the ability to stay present, to lead with clarity, and act with courage. The world is changing really rapidly, and the best thing you can do is invest in your capacity to navigate that change, starting with yourself. So to wrap up, the world is changing fast, and so must leadership. The edge is within you through self-leadership, and you must balance innovation with human sustainability, because visionary leaders are grounded, they're not just driven. So thank you for joining me today. We do have at Silicon Valley Executive Academy, we do have a number of programs, workshops, a week-long programs, and even longer programs for teams, for individual leaders. So do reach out, and we will be happy to discuss those programs with you. I'm very grateful that you joined me today. Let's keep this conversation going. So connect with me on LinkedIn. If you're interested in the Vital Leadership Program, our future sessions like this one, send me a DM, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and support you on your journey. Thank you.